Today we're planting up the beautiful planters around the fountain, and I put a variety of proven winners annuals in these. So let's get started and we'll go through the plants before we plant up. So the planters are going to have a variety of plants in them. Two of them will be very similar and then two will be slightly different, but all in the same color schemes of the pinks and purples. So what are we using? We have a Jazzberry Supertunia Vista. This is not a proven winners. This is a Veronica Blue Salvia. And I used this last year not only in the landscape, but I also put it in some planters. And I'm going to try it in this little planter as my centerpiece, as it gets really pretty purple flowers on it. And then also for this one, we have a Sharon. Now this is a Supertunia Sharon is the title of it, and it's got that pretty purpley ruffly flower. Back here in the back in this big planter, we'll be putting a bubblegum, a silverberry, a rockin' deep purple salvia, a Supertunia, and this is the pink one, so that'll be pretty. I've not done the pink one, so I'm curious to see how that looks this year. And then this is a Jazzberry Petunia. And so this one over here that is catty corner, it'll mirror this one, so it'll have the same plants in it. And then this one here will have a Sharon and a bubblegum. So let's get planting. So I'm going to add my Miracle-Gro potting mix that has the fertilizer in it. And I do already have some in here, so I won't need that much. And because I'm adding so many plants in here, I think with the dirt, they'll take up a lot of it. My Espoma Biotone, and my slow release plant food. And then throughout the season, I'll also give these water soluble plant food. I aim to try to do that once a week, but sometimes that doesn't happen. And maybe it's every couple weeks that I give them extra fertilizer while water soluble. So I've got my gloves on, let's get going. So the first one I'm going to do is my salvia, because it's going to be my tall centerpiece plant. And as you can see, I do have drip in here, drip irrigation. That's kind of what we've been waiting for. I had to wait to plant these until that came because we had to order it online, and it is not hooked up yet, but we did get the tubing in last night, and hopefully we'll get it hooked up in the next few days. Then we have a Jazzberry. Very nice root system. We have our bubblegum, Super Vista. Berry. And you're hearing my neighbor's dog. He's a little barker, little Dachshund barker. And then this is our Super Bina. And that'll trail nice out over the side. So like I said, I'll be interested to see how this all fills out. So let's get planting up our other ones. So all four are now all planted up, and I can't wait to see the beautiful summer colors that I have with the pinks and purples as they fill out. So you'll want to check back with me, and as the season progresses and I do the backyard tours, I'll show you how they look in the garden with the fountain. Look at my new garden cart. That was something my daughter and my husband came up with getting me for Mother's Day. And they gave it to me early because they knew I needed it now, and it has already came in handy. And with all of those bags of mulch I showed you in the April garden tour that I still have to put out, that is going to be wonderful. But let me show you some of the colors that are blooming right now in the garden and give you an update on the west area next to the garden house that I showed you in the April garden tour that is under development. And I will show you some of the things that I've planted in there so far. Okay, one thing I wanted to show you is look at this beautiful clematis. Look how gorgeous those are. And it looks really pretty with this shrub that now is just starting to bloom the white flowers. So if I back up a little bit, and this is right under our deck in our back garden, that looks so pretty. Now that'll grow up, but this clematis I've had for several years. And one year I had it actually grow up to the top of the railing of the deck. So it would get pretty tall, but as you can tell, it does have a tendency to clump down at the base. So you really have to work with it to get it to actually grow up the side, but it looks just beautiful right now. I love those pinky purple flowers with the white flecks. Now, what did I want to show you? I also wanted to show you the developing west garden house bed. So when I showed this to you in the April garden tour, I was telling you I was trying to decide what I wanted to do. If I wanted to put hydrangeas there along the fence to make like a backdrop to the fence and cover that in and fill it out. So I did decide to do that. So I got those planted last night. So they're limelights and they'll grow 6 to 8 feet tall. And so I think that'll be a nice backdrop for the fence and kind of a nice filler inner, just beautiful color. So that's Proven Winners Limelight Hydrangea. And I did 3 on this side of the fence where the arbor is. And then I'm going to show you my messy area that's still under development. The other side I did 1 right over there because that fence, there's not much there, but I thought that way it would coordinate on both sides. And then I have my Kingsman arbor with the David Austin Generous Gardener climbing roses on each side. One is starting to, and now these are bare root and they've not been probably in the ground just a few weeks. So this one down here is starting to get little flowers on it. This one on this side has not done anything yet. So we'll have to see. But back to this bed. So I planted the hydrangeas. I did get some more cat's pajama nepeta to put here. We are having several bunnies, baby bunnies, all over the yard, and they do not like that. So I've found them eating other things, but they don't bother that. And I really like that combination with the pale pink rose. And this is something I just picked up at Home Depot, and it's called Scentalicious. And it's got, look at these flowers, guys. They're gorgeous. And they smell absolutely beautiful. Now this is supposed to get, if I recall, 3 to 4 foot tall. So I'm curious to see how this turns out. It's just beautiful. And the hydrangeas are really pretty. So that creamy, lime color, the chartreuse color with the pale pink rose. And then I think I'm going to also put a darker pink rose in here. And then the cat's pajamas. And then I planted some salvia perennial that'll come back. Well, I hope you enjoyed the update, the quick update and the beautiful clematis that I showed you. And if you enjoyed this video, hit subscribe and check out this next one.